All right, here's the last lecture on 2A, and then the rest we'll do all in-class activities and some mini lectures. But say that you need to figure out a conversion between, say, cubic yards and cubic feet. And this might not seem like something you'll ever do, but I buy mulch and I buy soil because I have gardens. And so actually this is something that they sell, things like gravel, they might sell, or rock or soil or mulch, they typically might sell in cubic yards or cubic feet. So 1 cubic yard, say I want to figure out that, 1 cubic yard, which would be like if you took a yard by a yard by a yard and made a box like that, um, and you filled it with mulch or something, that would be a cubic yard of mulch. So it would be 1 yard by 1 yard by 1 yard. And so it's a volume because you're filling it up. And so I want to figure out what that would be in cubic feet. So really, it would be 1 yard by 1 yard by 1 yard. All right, because it'd be a yard this way, a yard that way, and a yard that way. So one way I could do that is I could take each of these units and change them over to what I want, which is really feet. All right, so if I think, well, 1 yard is 3 feet, and again, I'm just changing that unit out for an equivalent unit, I'm going to get a different numeric amount because it's a different size, but the value is going to be equal. And this is also worth 3 feet if I trade out that unit, and this is also worth 3 feet if I trade out that unit. Now, if I multiply 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27, and then feet times feet times feet. Now notice those don't cancel. They're all in the numerator, so nothing's going to cancel each other out. They're just going to get powers of each other. So that is actually going to be cubic feet, because feet times feet times feet is cubic feet. So if I had a box that's 1 yard by 1 yard by 1 yard, and I filled that full of soil or mulch or whatever, 1 cubic yard is the same as 27 cubic feet. All right, which if you're buying things that might be important to know that these are actually equivalent or they're equal, just different units. Again, story problems, units can help you solve them. So for example, right now in Iowa, farmland is worth about $10,000 per acre. I'll try to tell you a story about that in class. But so my dad owns approximately 80 acres. He inherited it from my grandparents when they passed away. And so if I want to know the value of my dad's land, or if he wants to know the value of his land, notice this word per. So you have $10,000 per 1 acre. 10 there, make that show up a little bit better. So it's $10,000 per 1 acre. The word per means kind of divide there. And I have 80 acres. So notice if I want acres to cancel, I need to write that 80 up here to get it to cancel the 80 or the acres over here. So I'm going to put my 80 acres up there. Now notice the unit cancels of acres, and these are both in the numerator. Dividing by 1 doesn't really change your answer. So if you take 80 times 10,000, you get 800,000. Right, and then the unit on that is now money because the acres have canceled. So my dad's farmland is worth approximately $800,000 if someone would buy it. All right, the other thing, the last thing I want to talk to you about is on page 87 in your book. There is a chart called Table 2.1. It's at the bottom of that page, and sometimes students have a hard time reading that chart. So I want to make sure you understand here. The word dollars is what you want to focus on here because the word foreign stays the same both times. But dollars over here, and notice over here, it's dollar per dollar. All right. So on the front of that chart, if you read it, say for example, it says, let's see, oh, I don't know. Let's do the euro. Okay, so there's the euro if you're going to travel to Europe. Okay, and it says 1.256. Okay, now this is dollars plural per foreign. So what that means is this is in dollars. Okay, this is not labeled euros. This is American dollars. So $1.25 with a little, almost 26 cents, but part of a penny, kind of like with gas. So there's this many dollars per 1 euro. Okay, so per 1 euro, that is your rate. If you look, they have what, the peso? Okay, so the Mexican peso. All right, and they have, if you look across that chart, it says 0.06584. Okay, now again, this is dollars per this. So this would be this many dollars. So this would be US money. So this much US dollar per the foreign, which again is per one Mexican peso. Oopsie. All right, so $1.26 about would be worth €1, and about 6-7 cents would be worth 1 peso. Okay, so it says dollars plural, meaning it's not talking about $1, it's talking about dollars. So the number in the chart is the US dollars compared to one of the foreign. Okay, whatever it is, pesos, euros, there's yens in there. Now, on the other side of the chart it says foreign per dollar. Now, notice, focus on the dollar. It's dollar, singular, dollar. So on this one, if we look at the euro, okay, so if we look at the euro, it says what is it? 0.79, if I can read here, 65. All right, so what that means is it's the foreign per dollar. So this would be 0.7965 euros per one US dollar. So one, I can put US dollar. All right, so when it says dollar singular, that's for one US dollar. When it says dollars plural, whatever that decimal is in the chart is in US dollars compared to one of the foreign unit. So if we look at pesos, again in that chart it says what, 15.19, right, for Mexican pesos. Okay, so again it's dollar, so this is in the foreign amount, so 15.15 pesos to one US dollar. All right, so if it says dollars first, that means that money in the chart is the dollars in US compared to one of the foreign. But if it says foreign first, then that is the foreign money per one US dollar. All right, and we'll be using that chart in class. So hopefully that'll make sense when we get going in class.